At the time I'm recording this, it is currently the 2nd of January 2025, and there are exactly 4 months left till the summer 2025 GCSE and A-level exam season. You might feel a bit overwhelmed, especially GCSE students, because this is the first time you're actually going to be sitting external exams. But if you watch this video till the end and apply the tips that I'm going to be giving you today, I genuinely believe that you can get all A's and A stars. So currently, I'm in year 13, and I've been in your position twice, once in year 11 and the other time in year 12, and I've made a lot of mistakes. But again, mistakes are made for a very simple reason. As Henry Ford said, the only real mistake is the one from which we learn nothing. So here are 4 tips that I've learned over the last 3 years that have helped me maximize my grades in just a few months. Starting off with the most effective tip, at least for me. The first thing that you need to do is go ahead and make a schedule. And don't delay it. Google Calendar is free. You can go ahead and make one right now. So pause this video and go and make one. And I'll put mine up on the screen just for an example. Scheduling or making a calendar, in my eyes, is one of the most underrated things that you can do for yourself. It massively helps you get the task done because your subconscious keeps telling you that you're meant to be doing this at this particular time. Also, when you write something down, you're more likely to get it done. And by the way, this is not just my opinion. Professor Peter Gollwitzer is a German professor at NYU, and he conducted a study which found out that people who make clear plans, like at 4 p.m. I will study at the library, were much more likely to stick to their goals. Scheduling tasks actually helped them avoid procrastination and get more done because it gave them a clear time and place to focus on their work. Now, the second thing is to lock in. The pain of regret is actually far worse than the pain of putting in the effort. And you can take that from me. Actually, let me tell you a story. Back in year 11 and even a bit like a big chunk of year 12, I was continuously in the mindset of, when the exam season comes, I'll actually lock in and study properly. And the whole year I was just messing about, having fun, not paying attention in class. And when the time actually came, you could imagine what happened. I was fortunate enough to not do, extremely bad. I did, from my expectations at least, I did not do that bad. But had I started like a month earlier, I could have gotten all A's and A stars. And that is a lesson. Do not delay something. Even if you're putting in like 30 minutes of work every single day, do that because it's much better than cramming right at the end. So lock in now. And by locking in, I don't mean like you dedicate every single hour of your day just to study. Hell no, I would never say that to anyone. That is completely unhealthy. By locking in, I simply mean like put in 1 to 2 hours of effort a day, and then on the weekends you can up that to 3 to 4 hours. And you might be saying to yourself that, 3 to 4 hours on a weekend, like what am I going to do with the rest of my day? And if you really think about it, it is not that much, especially if you fix your sleep schedule, which is the next point, by the way, which I'll come to in a bit. But if you wake up at like, let's say 7 a.m., if you go to sleep at 12 a.m. and wake up at 7, that you're getting 7 hours of sleep. So that is fine. And if you can literally get those 3 to 4 hours done before you even hit 12 o'clock. So, it's just about how you manage your time. Now, as I said before, tip number 3 is about your sleep schedule. Fix your sleep schedule. It is by far the most important thing ever. Picture this. You have to go to school at 6 a.m. and you go to bed at 2 a.m. That is just 4 hours of sleep. The recommended amount is 7 to 8 hours, and all you're getting is 4 hours of sleep. Now, you spend the whole day in school as well, so you're going to be tired by the time you get home. And by the time you get home and you actually try to study on your own, you're not going to be able to get anything done because you're so exhausted and all you're doing is running on caffeine. And it shouldn't be like that. You should be getting the necessary amount of sleep, even if it's just 6 hours, which is much better than getting 4 hours. But the recommended amount by science is obviously 7 to 8 hours. So please, for the love of God, sleep is so important that you do not realize it. It is much more important than we think, especially for subjects like math, which require a lot of critical thinking and problem solving. Here's another story for you. Last year, there were actually times like till 2-3 a.m. where I was grinding the hell out of maths. So I was just doing past papers till like 3-4 a.m. at night. And there came a time where the letters were literally floating in the air and I could not understand anything. So I decided to give up and try the next morning. Guess what? I got 7 to 8 hours of sleep as I was meant to get. And I woke up in the morning and I came to that same question again. And to my shock, I actually got it correct. So no matter how much you think sleep does not matter, especially in a student's life, it is quite the opposite. It is one of the most essential things in a student's life. There's a reason why so many big entrepreneurs get 7 to 8 hours of sleep every single night and dedicate sleep as one of the biggest reasons for their success. And if you don't trust me, ask Jeff Bezos himself. Now, the last and possibly the most important point is how you study. So basically, your study techniques. The way you study a subject matters more than how many hours you put in it. A person who does 5 past papers for maths is more likely to get a better grade than someone who, makes 50 hours of flashcards for maths. Because The key is to know your subject. If your subject is one like that requires in-depth understanding and memorization, such as chemistry, start making flashcards and testing your concept. However, if a subject leads towards problem solving, such as maths, then it's probably better for you to go and do as many questions as you can, as opposed to making something like flashcards, because flashcards in maths don't really make sense. Your key to success in maths will simply come from past papers and how much you practice. The key is to know your subject inside out and how you're meant to study it, because without the proper study techniques, no matter how much hours you put into studying that subject, it will all be useless if you do not use the correct study technique. Sometimes the things that take less time can give a better output. The time invested in something does not always have to produce better results. The way you execute it, though, so much more important. So there are 4 months left, and if you utilize these 4 months properly and be efficient with your time and dedicate at least an hour or two of every single day to studying, I promise you're going to get the results that you want, because consistency is the key to no matter what you're doing. If you're going to slack off in between and not study for a month, then you're going to see your progress go downhill. So even if it's just 30 minutes and you do whatever you can, every single day, do something, even if it's just this much. Just do it. Anyways, that is all for today's video. If you liked it, please go ahead and leave a like. You can also go ahead and subscribe to the channel over here. And you can go ahead and check my latest video out over here. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I'll see you very, very soon. Thank you and goodbye.